Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're exploring a really compelling concept. It might seem a bit counterintuitive at first, but it holds some remarkably practical applications. It's called the vacuum law of prosperity.
Hmm.
The basic idea is that by consciously letting go of what's old or unwanted or, just not serving us anymore,
Mm.
we actually create a void, a space.
Right. A space that life itself or the universe kind of rushes in to fill,
Yeah.
and often it fills it with something new, something better.
Exactly. And for this deep dive, we're pulling insights from some really powerful prosperity mentors like Bob Proctor, Catherine Ponder,
Good ones.
and we're even tracing the idea way back, centuries back to ancient wisdom. Figures like Aristotle even touched on the underlying principle.
That's fascinating, isn't it? How old some of these ideas are.
It really is. So our mission today is to unpack this intriguing principle, show how it's not just philosophy, but a real strategy,
Mhm.
something that can invite surprising, sometimes almost, well, mystical results into your life.
Yeah, it has that quality sometimes.
Okay, let's unpack this. So, at its heart, this vacuum law, it builds on a really ancient idea. You probably heard it. Nature abhors a vacuum.
Aristotle.
Right, goes way back to Aristotle. It just means, basically, that nature needs every space to be filled. If you take something out,
Something else has to come in. It won't stay empty.
precisely.
And that ancient observation is exactly what prosperity teachers, like Catherine Ponder you mentioned, applied to personal success, to abundance.
How did she frame it?
Well, she put it very simply.
Yeah.
Get rid of what you don't want to make room for what you do want.
Okay.
Think about like pouring fresh tea into a cup that's already full of old, cold tea. You just can't, right?
No, you'd make a mess.
You have to empty the cup first.
Yeah.
And Potter really stressed that this works not just with physical things, but also on the spiritual and mental planes.
So, thoughts, feelings, not just clutter.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
applies across the board.
That teacup analogy, it really nails it, doesn't it? But, why is it so hard for people to actually do this, especially with physical stuff, like clearing out clutter?
Ah, yeah, that's where the rubber meets the road, isn't it?
Yeah. And this is where it gets really interesting looking at how it works in practice. Let's start with tangible things. Bob Proctor, he loved to tell this story about his Aunt Marg and her, let's just say, hideous old curtains.
Oh, I remember this one. Yes.
So Aunt Marg apparently complained all the time about these heavy, old, threadbare drapes in her living room. Hated them. But she always said, oh, I just can't afford new ones.
The classic justification.
Right. And Bob, Bob, he kind of startled her by saying, no, Aunt Marg, you love those curtains. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep them so close.
Ooh, that's direct.
Isn't it? But it highlights such a deep point. He said the only things we consistently tolerate in our lives are things we're somehow in harmony with, if you truly couldn't stand them.
You'd have done something already. Exactly. She was maybe subconsciously justifying keeping them. And by doing that, she was basically blocking anything new from even having a chance to show up.
So what was Bob's advice? It was pretty bold, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. He told her, straight up, take those old drapes down, clean them, and give them away. Donate them. Create a literal physical vacuum on those windows.
And she must have panicked, right? Like bare window.
Oh, absolutely. She protested, how can I just take my curtains down? What will people think? I have nothing to put up. All the usual fears. But Bob was firm. He said, you'll never hang new drapes until you make space for them.
Wow.
And he hit her with that core teaching. You can't get something until you are first willing to give something away.
So what happened? Did she do it? She did, despite the fear. And apparently her husband thought she was nuts.
Oh, thanks.
She finally took that leap of faith, pulled down those hated drapes, and yeah, for a little while, her living room had bare windows, an awkward, empty space, just like she feared.
But not for long, right?
Yeah, not for long at all. The very next time Bob visited, boom, beautiful new curtains were hanging there. Somehow, some way, he said, a series of events just unfolded, almost magically, to provide her with the exact drapes she wanted.
That's incredible.
And get this, once she saw it worked, Aunt Marg got the bug. She started looking around. What else can I get rid of? She gave away old furniture,
Oh, wow.
created another vacuum, and pretty soon she had an entirely refurnished living room, just the way she dreamed of.
That story is just perfect. It shows how clearing that physical space, it creates necessity, first off, bare windows,
Yeah.
but also, maybe more importantly, receptivity.
Receptivity, I like that.
It's like sending a signal out, isn't it? Okay, universe, I'm ready for something better now. And apparently the universe delivered.
Yeah.
That's exactly why, when people say they want new clothes, but their closets are just jam full of stuff they haven't worn in years. Guilt. Right. We all do it. They're literally leaving no space.
Yeah.
Bob Proctor used to challenge people. Go through your closet, pull out everything you don't wear, don't love, give it away
Just
freely.
give it away.
Give it away freely.
Yeah.
He promised it won't be long before that closet is full again. But this time, full of clothes you actually want to wear.
Hmm.
And it works for any space. The garage, the bookshelf, even like cleaning out your wallet can shift things.
Well, okay, but I can hear someone listening thinking, okay, fine for curtains or clothes, but if I give away my old beat-up couch,
Right.
what if nothing replaces it? Then I just have no couch. That fear is real.
It is absolutely real. It's the fear of the void, the unknown. But according to this vacuum law, that space will be filled. It has to be. Often it's that very act of letting go, of creating the emptiness that allows the new thing to rush in. Sometimes through unexpected ways, opportunities, even gifts.
So it's not just mystical, there's a practical side too.
Oh, definitely. Decluttering isn't just about tidiness. It's a huge psychological reset.
Hmm.
When you clear physical space, you actually reduce your cognitive load, that mental clutter. It boosts your mood, gives you clarity, and crucially, it makes you more open and aware. You start spotting opportunities you might have missed before because you were bogged down.
That makes so much sense. The practical and the energetic shift working together. Okay, so physical stuff, we get it. Clear the closet, clear the space. But you said earlier it applies beyond just objects.
Absolutely. And this is where it gets even more transformative, I think. It applies to the less tangible things. Stagnant situations, draining relationships, limiting beliefs or mental patterns.
So like holding on to a toxic friendship or maybe a business deal that's just going nowhere.
Exactly. Those things can block your growth just as much, maybe even more, than a house full of actual junk.
Okay, but how does that work? If you end the friendship, isn't the space cleared?
Well, yes and no. It's crucial to understand that just cutting the physical ties isn't always enough. There's often what you could call emotional residue.
Emotional residue? Like lingering resentment or hurt.
Precisely. Those feelings, those unresolved ties, they can still occupy space within you. As one writer put it beautifully, the vacuum law of prosperity doesn't work if the space you create is still occupied physically or emotionally.
Okay. So if you end the bad partnership, but you're still furious or bitter.
You've only cleared the external slot, not the internal one. The negative energy is still taking up room.
So how do you clear that space?
That's where forgiveness and mental release become absolutely critical. Catherine Ponder, again, she emphasized forgiveness. She called it the process which forms a vacuum and allows new good to rush in.
Forgiveness creates the vacuum.
Yes. By truly forgiving past hurts, which is really about freeing yourself, not letting the other person off the hook, you sweep out that heavy negative energy. You're basically clearing a landing pad inside yourself for better experiences.
That's powerful.
Florence Scovel Shinn, another great New Thought teacher, she had this wonderful affirmation. Something like, I now let go of worn-out conditions and worn-out things. Divine order is established in my mind, body, and affairs. Behold, I make all things new. Just declaring that release.
I love that. Behold, I make all things new.
And this also connects to something else, sometimes called the law of detachment. You hear this from teachers like Abraham Hicks. It's about letting go of needing things to happen in one specific way on your rigid timeline.
Right. Not trying to control everything.
Exactly. Clinging too tightly, obsessing over how or when your desire will manifest, that can actually create resistance. It sort of clogs the channel. But when you release that attachment, when you trust the process, you create this quiet, open, expectant space. A mental vacuum, really, that allows things to arrive more easily.
That makes so much sense. So for someone listening, maybe trying to apply this to, say, finding a new partner after a tough breakup, what's the hardest part of releasing that emotional residue you talked about?
I think often it really is that fear of the unknown, fear of the emptiness. We cling to what's familiar, right? Even if it's painful, sometimes it feels safer than just nothing.
The devil you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the wisdom here is that you have to face that fear. You do the inner work forgiveness, letting go of resentment, and then you start acting as if the new, better thing is already on its way.
Acting as if.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like?
Well, it could be physical things, like maybe literally clearing out half the closet space for a future partner. Sounds silly, maybe, but it's a statement of intent. And emotionally, it means allowing yourself to feel genuine excitement about what could be coming, instead of just replaying the old hurt. Remember Catherine Ponder's advice. Think, speak, and act as if you are prosperous and happy, and live as richly as possible right now. Claim it now.
That really grounds the idea. I think you mentioned having a personal experience from the source material that illustrates this really well.
I do, yes. It was about a business relationship, actually. I'd been involved in something that had just become really strained, unproductive. It was taking up so much time, so much energy, and honestly, there wasn't much joy left in it. It felt like dragging dead weight.
We've all been there.
Right. And making the decision to end it, to walk away, it wasn't easy at all. It really felt like stepping into, well, an empty space. There was no immediate replacement lined up.
Scary.
Definitely scary.
Huh.
But I had this deep sense, this trust, that freeing myself from that drain had to make room for something better. And you know what? That's exactly what happened.
Really? How quickly?
Almost immediately. Seriously. Right after I consciously made that decision, made the call, let it go.
Yeah.
Another part of my business, one that had been kind of quiet, suddenly just boomed.
Wow.
New clients started calling out of the blue. Deals that had gone cold suddenly revived. Unexpected income started flowing in from directions I hadn't even considered. It was uncanny. It was like the universe was just sitting there waiting, saying, okay, clear that blockage, and I'll release the good stuff.
So the blockage was the draining relationship itself.
Yes, and probably my own subconscious fear of letting it go. That fear was creating resistance. Once I released both the relationship and the fear, it created this huge vacuum, and whoosh, it filled up fast.
That's such a powerful personal example. And we've seen similar things, haven't we? There was that story from the Rare Faith community.
Oh yeah, the contributor whose income had really stalled.
Right. After he lost his wife, who was also his business partner. It wasn't just the grief, though that was huge, but he realized he'd sort of accepted the story of decline. He was clinging to the old ways, clients he couldn't really serve well anymore.
Holding on too tight.
Exactly. And he realized to create something new, he had to release that story. He had to let go of the clients he couldn't serve well anymore. He had to consciously clear space in his life, his business, his mindset.
Took courage, I imagine.
Absolutely. He said it took a real leap of faith, a willingness to sit with that uncomfortable void for a bit. But once he did it, things started turning around for him pretty quickly, too. His conclusion was powerful. The universe responds to prepared space, to clear intent, and it rewards aligned action.
Prepared space, clear intent, aligned action. That sums it up beautifully. These stories just drive home the point. Prosperity in any area needs flow.
Oh, yeah.
And if something in your life, an item, a relationship, a belief, a job has become dead weight, if it's blocking that flow, it's time. Time to bless it, thank it for its service, and release it.
Even with the scary gap.
Yes, even acknowledging there might be that uncomfortable gap, that period of uncertainty before the new thing shows up. But the core principle, the promise, is that the space will be filled, often much faster than you think once you get out of your own way.
Okay, so this is all fascinating, but let's get really practical for you, our listener. How can you start actively using this vacuum law of prosperity? Like today, what are the steps?
Great question. We can break it down into some concrete tips. First off, identify what to release.
Okay.
Take a really honest look around. Your physical environment, sure, but also your commitments, your schedule, even your inner feelings. What are you holding on to that just doesn't serve your highest good anymore?
Like those clothes you haven't worn.
Or that limiting thought like I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Or maybe a habit that drains your energy, or a relationship that feels heavy. Just be honest. Shine a light on the clutter, whether it's physical or metaphorical.
Yep.
That's step one.
Awareness.
Got it. Step two, start with physical decluttering. This is often the easiest place to begin because it's tangible.
Makes sense.
Pick one area, a closet, a drawer, your desk. Let go of things that are broken, outdated, things you just don't love or use.
Oh.
And Bob Proctor's tip was key here.
Yeah.
Give it away freely if you can. Donate it. Give it to friends. Don't get bogged down trying to sell every little thing.
Life.
That free-hearted giving seems to amplify the vacuum effect. It's a statement of abundance, not scarcity. As you're bagging things up, maybe even say aloud or to yourself, I'm making room for new blessings now.
Okay. Physical decluttering. What's next?
Third, release grudges and negativity. Clear out that mental and emotional space we talked about.
The internal clutter.
Exactly. If you're holding on to resentment toward someone, that energy is tied up. Practice forgiveness again, for your sake. You could just do a simple internal process. I release the situation, I wish them well from afar maybe, and I let go of carrying this hurt. You might literally feel lighter.
And the negative self-talk.
Yes. Replace thoughts of lack, like I never have enough money or nothing good ever happens to me, with affirmations that create space for abundance. Something like the universe is generous and I am open and ready to receive.
Okay, that's 3. What's 4?
Fourth, what isn't working with wisdom. This might be tougher. If there's a job, a partnership, maybe a commitment that, deep down is holding you back, consider making a plan to gracefully phase it out. Now, use common sense here, obviously. You don't just walk out on responsibilities irresponsibly.
Right, practical wisdom.
But be willing, within reason, to let go of the good to make space for potentially the great. Sometimes just making the decision, taking the first step to move away from an unsatisfying situation, provokes a really swift response from the universe.
Okay, step 5.
Fifth, affirm and act as if. So once you've released something, the clutter, the grudge, the situation, try not to immediately rush to fill that empty space out of anxiety.
Resist the urge to just fill it with anything.
Exactly. Instead, hold that space with positive expectation. Affirm that something wonderful is on its way. If you cleared out clutter, maybe walk through the room and really feel the potential for new prosperity. If you ended a relationship, maybe do things that reflect trust in finding a better match, like taking really good care of yourself, or maybe even, as some suggest, setting an extra place at the table as an act of faith.
Like Florence Scovel Shinn said.
Precisely. She advised, give thanks that you have received on the invisible and make active preparation for receiving on the visible. Act like it's already happening on the unseen level.
Okay, that's powerful. 2 more.
Sixth, be patient and trusting. This is important. If you're dreaming big, you might need to release something big. And sometimes there's a time gap while things rearrange behind the scenes.
Don't panic in the gap.
Don't panic. If the new thing doesn't show up overnight, trust the process. Keep your attitude focused on gratitude and anticipation, not worry or doubt. Remember the law. No genuine vacuum remains unfilled. It will be filled.
Okay, and the last one.
And finally, number 7, continue the cycle. Prosperity flow, it isn't a one-and-done thing. Make this vacuum principle a habit.
Like spring cleaning for your whole life?
Kind of. Periodically scan your life, maybe seasonally, maybe when you review your goals. What else needs to be let go of? Keep practicing generosity. Keep decluttering thoughts and things. As Bob Proctor said, you should continually be making space for the good you desire. Keep those channels clear.
That's a fantastic set of practical steps, thank you. When you really step back and look at this vacuum law, it feels like letting go isn't about loss at all, is it? It's more like an act of trust.
Exactly. Profound trust. Trust in a universe that's fundamentally benevolent, that wants to fill your life with richness, with good things.
So when you find the courage to release what's worn out, what's unwanted, you're actually setting this unseen force in motion, a force that starts pulling new blessings towards you.
Beautifully put. It's this blend, isn't it? It's as fundamental as physics life seeks balance. Empty spaces want to be filled.
Yeah.
Yet feels almost magical in practice.
Yeah. So maybe the invitation is, instead of fearing the emptiness, learn to see it as a tool, a really powerful manifesting tool.
Absolutely. And it works everywhere. You can vacuum clean your finances, release that scarcity thinking, and donate a small amount regularly to open the flow. You can vacuum clean your career, step away from the dead-end role, invest in training for what you really want.
Even your spirit. Especially your spirit. Forgive those old wounds finally. Make room for joy, for peace. In every single area, when you genuinely let something go, something new comes. It has to. It's like the universe's promise. Nothing is ever truly lost. It just changes form.
So the encouragement for you listening is, go ahead. Sweep out those dusty corners, not just in your room, but in your soul too.
Yeah.
Let your actions, your thoughts, your intentions declare, I am ready. I am making space for my highest good.
Make that declaration.
And then just watch. Watch with a little bit of wonder, maybe, as that space you cleared becomes the very channel for prosperity to flow right in, maybe richer, maybe more magical than you even imagined before.